Chapter 9. Everything But the Canal, Part 5. While Qin Qingrong was laying down the law with Hou Weidong in the inner room, Zhang sat on the sofa, lit a cigarette, and took slow drags. Xiaojia, her mind heavy with worry, had already tidied the living room. She sat in front of the TV, idly picking up the remote and channel surfing incessantly. "Stop changing it. Let's watch the NBA." "Give me the remote," Zhang said, noticing an NBA broadcast and suddenly remembering there was a Bulls game on today. Hou Weidong's uninvited arrival had disrupted the household's peace, making him forget even this exciting game. According to their impromptu division of labor, Qin Qingrong was dealing with Hou Weidong, while Zhang Yuanzhang was responsible for persuading their daughter, Xiaojia. But the moment Michael Jordan appeared on screen, Zhang was instantly captivated. Even at 50, he was incredibly obsessed with the NBA. For crucial games, he would even swap shifts to watch at home. Now, he watched the game with keen interest, completely forgetting his important task of educating his daughter. Inside the inner room, Qin Qingrong had made her stance clear, but Hou Weidong refused to give a direct answer. Annoyed, she said, "Hou Weidong, I'm being practical. It's for everyone's good. Think it over carefully." She walked out into the living room and saw Zhang watching the NBA with great relish. A wave of anger instantly flared up inside her. Watch, that's all you know how to do. With the NBA, you don't even need a family. Go live with the NBA for the rest of your life." Xiaojia saw her mother's dark expression and then looked at Hou Weidong's dejected face. She knew things had definitely gone badly. Tears, like a tap with stripped threads, streamed uncontrollably down her cheeks. The living room was already narrow. With all four people standing there, the cramped space felt completely filled. Outside the window, the sun blazed, baking the ground scorching hot. Hot air constantly rose from the surface, creating gusts of hot wind that loitered between the tall buildings. A gust of hot wind, seeking an outlet, rushed in from the balcony, hit Hou Weidong, parted around him, gathered again, and rushed out through the balcony on the other side. Hou Weidong's back was soaked with sweat, his forehead beaded with pea-sized drops. He looked at Xiaojia, 1,000 emotions churning inside him, but he couldn't utter a single word. On TV, the NBA game was intense, back and forth. The commentator was shouting himself hoarse, heightening the exciting atmosphere. It was the final minute, and the outcome was still uncertain. Zhang Yuanzhang stared intently at the screen, palms sweating with nervousness. Qin Qingrong stood with her arms crossed. Seeing her husband ignore her and remain immersed in the game, her anger finally became uncontrollable. Not caring about saving face for Zhang, she reached over, snatched the remote, and cleanly turned off the TV. Zhang was right at the climax. The TV shutting down felt like 100 cats were clawing at his heart, but seeing his wife's stern expression and remembering the serious family issue at hand, he didn't dare say much. Fuming, he took out another cigarette and headed for the balcony to smoke. Qin Qingrong said coldly, "You, stay right there." Zhang Yuanzhang froze as if Sun Wukang had cast an immobilizing spell on him, unable to move from beside the sofa. Xiaojia knew her mother had a fiery temper. Seeing her treat her father like this made her heart pound violently. She feared one wrong word would anger her mother and get Hou Weidong thrown out of the house. Hou Weidong's mood was complex. He cursed inwardly, "We all die anyway. What the hell is there to be afraid of?" He took a deep breath, looked directly at Qin Qingrong, and said, "Auntie Qin, I have a few things to say." Through this brief contact, Hou had confirmed Xiaojia's description. Her mother was the section chief at home, her father the deputy section chief, and Xiaojia was just a clerk. Therefore, he focused entirely on Xiaogei's mother as he spoke. As soon as he spoke, the section chief, deputy section chief, and clerk all turned their attention to Hou Weidong as if he had come from a panda nature reserve. "Auntie Qin, Uncle Zhang, even though you don't approve of Xiaojia and me continuing our relationship, I don't blame you, because you were acting wholeheartedly for Xiaojia's sake. I can understand that. Xiaojia's face changed dramatically. Her legs went weak, and she almost collapsed to the floor. She braced herself on the sofa, her face pale, listening to Hou Weidong's final statement, just like she had 3 years ago at an inter-department speech contest, watching a sturdy boy from the law department deliver his concluding remarks. It was that brilliant final statement that first imprinted Hou Weidong's image on her heart. Now, she had no idea if this final statement could move her parents and perform the miracle of turning the tide. At this moment, Hou Weidong's thinking became exceptionally clear. He continued, "Xiaojia and I have deep feelings for each other. Even if you both firmly oppose us, I will not give up. Through our joint efforts, we will definitely have a good future. Please believe that." Xiaojia picked up a tissue from the table and wiped away her tears and the sniffles that were about to flow. Chen Qingrong did not easily relent. Firm yet with a soft edge, she said, "I believe you have the potential for a good future. But the gap between Ying and Xiaozhou isn't something one person can bridge. We've been through this. We see things realistically. I hope you can understand that too." Hou Weidong knew this argument wouldn't solve anything. He straightened his chest and said, "I've troubled you today. I'll take my leave now." Xiaojia hadn't expected things to turn out like this. Regardless of her parents' presence, she grabbed Hou Weidong's arm, unable to speak. Seeing her daughter's state, Chen Qingrong's heart softened for a moment, but it quickly hardened again. She said to Zhang Yuanjing, "Go with him to the station. Buy him a ticket." Hou Weidong politely declined. "Thank you, Auntie, that won't be necessary." At this point, Xiaojia's stubbornness flared. She lifted her head and declared, "I'm going with Hou Weidong." Zhang Yuanjing glared and said, "How dare you leave? If you leave, don't bother coming back." Hou Weidong remained calm. "Auntie, may I speak with Xiaojia for a moment?" Chen Qingrong purposely kept a cold face and nodded. "Go talk in the inner room." Once Hou Weidong and Xiaojia entered the inner room, Zhang Yuanjing said quietly, "That young man seems pretty decent." Chen Qingrong glanced toward the inner room, saw the door was closed, and said, "He's more mature than Xiaojia, and his family background is good too. If he worked in Xiaozhou, I wouldn't object at all. I'd even give my full approval." Zhang Yuan couldn't resist lighting his cigarette. Chen Qingrong sat on the sofa and said, "You should smoke less. You cough every day." Seeing his wife didn't oppose too strongly, Zhang took a few deep puffs. Chen Qingrong frowned and added, "Xiaojia seems docile on the surface, but when her temper flares, 10 oxen couldn't pull her back. I'm afraid she won't break up easily. These next few days, we need to keep a close eye on her to prevent any drastic actions. And you, don't say anything too provocative in case the young people act recklessly." Zhang was an engineer at the factory, dealing with machines every day. He understood machinery far better than human nature. He usually didn't involve himself much in family matters and said carelessly, "It's not that serious. We'll forbid them from seeing each other. They're far apart anyway. In a few days, their feelings will naturally fade." Leaning back on the sofa, Chen Qingrong's tough posture finally relaxed. "I'm not so sure. Hou Weidong has a strong character, and Xiaojia is stubborn too. Getting them to break up completely will take a lot of effort. Old man, this time, don't just wash your hands of it. You need to do more to persuade Xiaojia." Once inside the inner room, Hou Weidong held Xiaojia tightly. The door wasn't locked, but their bodies blocking it served the same purpose. Hou Weidong kissed Xiaojia passionately, holding her fiercely. Xiaojia responded eagerly. Their tongues intertwined, clinging to each other desperately. The fact that her parents were right outside and Hou was about to return to Yang made this desperate clinging even more intense. After a while, Hou Weidong wiped his mouth with his sleeve. It was covered with the taste of Xiaojia's saliva, a taste he was extremely fond of and adored. "Just stay at home. I'll talk to them," Xiaojia said, her eyes pleading. "Forget it. Your mother has already asked me to leave. However thick-skinned I am, I can't stay here now." Seeing the melancholy on Xiaojia's face, Hou felt a pang of heartache and comforted her. "We both need to hold on." The difficulties are temporary. There will always be bread. Xiaojia looked up, seeing the determination in Hou Weidong's expression, and said, I'll go to Yang with you. Hou Weidong held her tightly. You can't come with me. If you follow me now, it will completely ruin the relationship with your parents, leaving no room for retreat. Right now, we need to let everyone's emotions calm down first, then plan carefully. Hou Weidong kissed Xiaojia hard one more time, then let go. Xiaojia whispered, Hold me a little longer. Her expression was strange, a look of reckless abandon in her eyes. She whispered in Hou Weidong's ear, Swear to me, no matter what happens, you won't leave me. I swear, we will always be together. A glimmer of light flashed in Zhao Gai's eyes. She said, I want to make sure you never forget me. She slowly knelt down, one hand reaching for the zipper of Hou Weidong's pants. Startled, Hou said, Xiaojia, what are you doing? I want you to never forget me, Xiaojia said, her hand already inside the open zipper.